Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing my EFL predictions from Championship to League 2. First we are starting with the Championship. First up is the Yorkshire Derby between Leeds and Huddersfield, and I think this will be a good game to watch. Everyone likes derby matches. Both teams lost their last games, but I think Daniel Farke's side will win 2-0. Next match is Southampton vs Birmingham, and Wayne Rooney hasn't won his first few games and I think this will carry on 1-1. The third match is Blackburn vs Swansea, and this will be a good game. Blackburn won 2-1 over Millwall last time, with Swansea losing 1-0 to Watford, but I think Swansea will sneak a win 1-0 to Swansea. Next is Cardiff vs Bristol City, and Cardiff smashed Huddersfield 4-0 and I think they will draw this time 0-0. Hull vs Preston. Both of these teams have had a good start to the campaign and I think this game Preston will win 2-0. Next up is Ipswich vs Plymouth. Both sides promoted. Plymouth were champions and Ipswich were just behind. Both teams won their last games and I think Plymouth will pull the shock 1-0 to Plymouth. Middlesbrough vs Stoke. Both of these teams will show a top-class game and it will show goals 2-2. QPR vs Leicester, and Leicester are flying top of the league and I think they will thrash QPR here 4-0 to Leicester. My team Sunderland vs Norwich, and Norwich are in awful form, only won one game in 5, and Sunderland are in too bad of form but still in a bad form, losing our past 3 games, but I think Sunderland will get a narrow 1-0 win with a Jack Clarke goal. The final Saturday game is Watford vs Millwall, and I think this will be a goalless draw. Next up is the Sunday kickoff, and it is two teams at the bottom, Sheffield Wednesday vs Rotherham, and I think Rotherham will get the win 2-0 Rotherham. The last game is on a Monday where sadly we all have to go back to school, but anyway, Coventry vs West Brom is a good game and I think it will be 3-2 West Brom. Next up is the League One predictions, starting off with Barnsley vs Fleetwood. Both teams won their last game but I think Barnsley will win 2-1. Second game is Blackpool vs Peterborough, and it is 6th vs 5th and I think Peterborough will pull off a thrashing 3-0 to Peterborough. Next is Bristol Rovers vs Northampton, and I think this is a good game and it will be a draw 1-1. Burton vs Leyton Orient is next and I think Burton will win. They have been in good form. 2-1 Burton. Cambridge vs Carlisle. This one will be a goalless draw 0-0. Charlton vs Bolton, and I think this one will be a good game but Bolton will thrash Charlton 4-1 Bolton. Exeter vs Lincoln, and I think this one will be a great game. Exeter have been in terrible form lately and I think it will carry on 2-0 to Lincoln. Oxford vs Wycombe, 2nd vs 10th, and I think this is a very good game. Oxford lost their last game, ending their winning streak, and I think they will lose again 2-1 Wycombe. Port Vale vs Cheltenham, and I think this will be a narrow 1-0 win to Port Vale. Reading vs Portsmouth, 23rd vs 1st, and this will be a very interesting game and it will be one-sided I think, and it will be 3-0 to Portsmouth. Stevenage vs Derby. Both teams near the top of the league, just outside the playoffs. This one will be a thriller. A lot of goals will be shown. 3-3. The final game I'm talking about, and it is Wigan vs Shrewsbury, and I think the away side will pull off a shock win 3-2 to Shrewsbury. And here are my League 2 predictions. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and happy Halloween. The rest of the results are pinned in the comments.